So we're in the process of taking the springs out, and we're going to change all the front suspension out. And today he's going to take the spring out without using the spring compressor. He's going to wrap a chain around it, and then when we lift it up, it's going to extend out, and then the spring will just kick out of the bottom.
Yeah, we don't advise anyone doing this, but we're kind of doing a little experiment here. I've discussed this with some of my friends, and it seems to be easier to put a spring in with a spring compressor, but much more difficult to take it out. So we're going to try to get these springs out with no compressor today, see how it works. There is no header on this car at this point, so this arm can swing all the way down. If you got headers, it hits the header and then you got big problems. The upper ball joint is still riveted in, so more than likely original. So here's the stop on here, and you can see it was rubbing up on that frame pretty good. These springs are totally worn, shocks are shot. We toss the chain around it, and we'll be standing back when you let the pressure off that lower control arm. But we're going to drop it down now and free that spindle. Alright, the shock's out of it. I'm jacking this up, trying to get some compression on the spring. So the compression's between the frame and the lower control arm. Trying to stay on the line of fire here, see if we can get this knuckle separate. So there's no pressure at all on the spindle right now. I'm trying to get the spindle completely out of there. Got a lot of slack in that chain, so that spring's got room to move. I'm just going to lift the car up off that jack, see what happens. Got a big pry bar here. Yeah, just getting these few pieces off is going to get rid of a lot of that caked on oil underneath there.
710.
So same coil diameter.
10 thousandths.
You can see the original spring had a ground end on it. This one does not. But the coil comes in there on the end. So this side will be facing up. According to the package anyway. And there could be tempers built into that. You know, we might end up cutting some of that off the bottom there to try to get this at the right ride height. Hopefully we can make it work. So here's the upper arm. We're going to count the shim. There's a lot of shim in the back here. So we know exactly where this arm was located and then put it back that way when we put the arm with the new bushings back in it. So we just got to take out these two nuts here and this arm will pop right off. These shims come in all different thicknesses, so we want to keep them all straight.
We can measure it up with the meat tutorial.
Sure. That's a good idea, actually. And this is the passenger rear. Here comes the arm. There she be. It probably only took me like maybe 20 minutes to get this out. That's a lot of shim for the back.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
I don't know if it's because of all the worn out bushings or what.
So it's point 8.
805 thousandths. We're looking at this bushing, and it is all the way to the steel and possibly into the arm. The back isn't as bad.
It's probably because the oil deteriorated the rubber and then ate through it.
This car is going to handle like an Italian sports car when we're done with it. It's through the shell and into the control arm. Have to replace the control arm. If it went much more, it probably would have came all the way through.
That explains all the shims, huh?
Yeah, the other one's like brand new yet.
You can see where the center used to be, and this thing's been shoved up to here, and the metal is just on its last 3/16 of an inch thick. If it would have gone through while we were driving home at 100 miles an hour.
Holy shit, look at this. Folded it in on itself. Normally I take a hacksaw and I'll just cut it. Should come out now.
Wow.
We priced the Global West arms and they were ridiculously expensive, and that's not an option. A tubular lower control arm.